Good morning. Welcome to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, where we honor you wherever you are in your mind, in your body, and on your spiritual path. Please take this opportunity to turn off your cell phones or any electronic gizmo that may interfere with the sacred space that we will be creating today. And then take a second and greet your neighbor, especially if it's somebody you don't know, might be your new best friend. All right. We here at the Golden Gate Center recognize and honor each and every spiritual path. But we know this, that each path leads to the one mind, the one God, Spirit in total. The words of the morning chant will be up here on the screen, followed by a spiritual mind treatment by Reverend Katherine Saux.
Right, I think you know this one. The breath of God is breathing through me. I feel it breathing through my whole being. The breath of God is breathing through me. And I feel it purify my soul. And I feel it purify my soul. The voice of God. The voice of God is singing through me. I feel it singing through my whole being. The voice of God is singing through me. And I feel it purify my soul. And I feel it purify my soul. The Word of God. The Word of God is praying through me. I feel it praying through my whole being. The Word of God is praying through me. And I feel it purify my soul. And I feel it purify my soul. Love of God. The love of God is flowing through me. I feel it flowing through my whole being. The love of God is flowing through me. And I feel it purify my soul. And I feel it purify my soul. The light of God. The light of God is shining through me. I feel it shining through my whole being. The light of God is shining through soul, and I feel it purify my soul, purify my soul, purify my soul, purify my soul. God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love I am.
And so in love, let us invoke that love, that presence, which is always here singing and shining and flowing through each of its expressions as us. As we take a breath this morning and become fully present and open to the one by called countless names. Names don't matter. It is that which is, that which loves. And we come together this morning to honor it, celebrate it, let it be all that it can be through us, unconstrained, uncompromised. I bless this morning's service with this recognition of that presence. I give thanks and welcome to our guest speaker, Reverend Linda Reppond, because I accept and know that through her and as her, the voice of God, the love of God, is fully present and is shared today with us. And so today I give thanks for knowing that each person here finds something perfect for a bigger heart, a more joyful soul, a greater capacity to love. And so in gratitude and in joy and in total surrender to that which is, I bless us all, knowing that this morning we are the doorway. The light is on. The welcome has been given. And God is here. And so it is.
God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. God's the love I am.
And this morning, I have the honor of being able to introduce our guest musician, Andoni Panici. Andoni, many of us know him. Andoni has been a singer, band leader, and actor for 15 years. And he performs regularly at churches and with his band at local hotspots. Now, we are a hotspot, okay? And Andoni is hoping that you can join him and his band at Taste of Rome in Sausalito the second Saturday of each month, and at Ricky's in Novato on the third Wednesday of each month. So please go to his table for more information after the service. Thank you. Thank you, Andoni and Bodhi.
All right. I wish I wrote this song, but Stevie Wonder wrote it, so what can I say? People keep on learning. Soldiers keep on warring. World keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. Powers keep on lying, while your people keep on dying. World keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. Oh yeah. So darn glad he let me try it again, 'cause my last time on earth I lived a whole world of sin. I'm so glad that I know more than I knew then. Gonna keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Teachers keep on teaching. Preachers keep on preaching. World keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. Lovers keep on loving. Believers keep on believing. Sleepers just stop sleeping, 'cause it won't be too long. Oh yes. I'm so darn glad he let me try it again, 'cause my last time on earth I lived a whole world of sin. I'm so glad that I know more than I knew then. Gonna keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Don't let nobody bring you down till we reach our highest ground. Let God show you higher ground. Let love show you higher ground. Okay.
Good morning. Am I on? There, okay. I'm Reverend Sarah Hargrave, staff minister at this wonderful spiritual community. And our senior minister, Reverend Carol, is probably on her honeymoon because she had her wedding this week. So, we would like to know, we'd like to welcome any people who, first of all, welcome team, come forward. Do we have our welcome team this morning? Okay, great. And so we'd like to welcome anybody who's here for the first time or back after a long time. And if you are here for the first time, we would like you to raise your hand and to fill out a blue card. And if you do that, you'll get this wonderful little book called What Religious Science Teaches. And that's the philosophy that we teach here at this center. So is there anybody here who's here for the first time? Okay, great. Welcome. Our theme for this year is 100 Years of the Science of Mind, and our May theme is Spiritual Laws and How to Use Them. And we're really privileged today to have a guest speaker, Reverend Dr. Linda Reppond. And she's the founding minister of the Launching Pad over in Berkeley. It's the only, let's applaud. It's the only dedicated young adult church in the Centers for Spiritual Living. And she ran that for 6 years, and now for 3 years she's been in Ashland, Oregon with the Launching Pad. They're a special magnet for conscious young adults who choose to live in community and be supported in a personal and spiritual practice and a community of peers who are practicing this philosophy of living their truth and loving their lives. And this vision of her ministry came out of her previous work as a managing director for International Youth and Family Ministers for the Centers for Spiritual Living, working with New Thought centers throughout the globe. And her concern was for what would happen to those young people after they graduated from high school and left their camp and grew to become the seeds of the beginning of the Launching Pad. And before her entrance into the ministry, she had a lifetime of work with teens and young people. She served as the director of the National Runaway Switchboard, president of the National Network for Youth, and executive director of Seattle Youth and Community Services, Special Olympics Washington, and other charities. And she received the best training possible for what she's doing, while she and her husband, Walter, raised 2 wonderful children and also multiple foster children. And until recently, they lived at the Launching Pad. So there's much more that I could tell you, but you will hear for yourself how wonderful she is. So, and her talk today is strong back, soft front. Please welcome Dr. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Sarah. It is indeed nice to be here. I have really always appreciated this community, partly because I have a little hero worship going with Reverend Carol. But also, I just want to say this because it's a huge thank you from my heart to you. When we first started the Launching Pad in Berkeley, and as you can imagine, a ministry like that is a little hard to fund. Young adults typically don't have much money, so whatever came in the offering plate, I don't know, wouldn't actually buy dinner. This community stepped forward very early in that ministry to tithe to us. And I don't know how many of you here know the story. I know some of you are here who were on the leadership council then, but you were already tithing to places that had, your full commitment, like, Timonos and, projects that you were committed to. And so what happened is that one board meeting, they decided, well, what would be wrong with tithing 11%? Doesn't have to be 10%. So there was an additional 1% tithe that was added, and that was the support that you gave to my ministry for as long as we were in Berkeley. So I don't know of another church that would do that. So I'm talking about strong back, soft front. How many of you are familiar with Brené Brown? Oh, good. She's one of my heroes, and she's been writing books. She's been doing research on vulnerability for years, and her most recent book is Braving the Wilderness. And in that, she talks, this is actually a Buddhist quote, the strong back, soft front. But that's a focus of what she's talking about in the book. So just in case you want to take a nap, I'll just tell you right now what I'm going to say. It'll be easy. Wait, I'm going the wrong direction. Okay, there we go. So the soft front part is learning to be vulnerable, express your true feelings, reveal weakness, acknowledge need, consider the possibility that you might be wrong, empathize, and learn how to apologize. That's basically what Brené Brown is saying. It's like, keep your heart open, keep your front part soft. And at the same time, have a strong back. What that looks like is It's counterbalanced by learning to stand up for yourself or others, or for things you believe in, even if it means losing your standing in the group. So there's the catch. So we talk a lot about keeping our heart open, but if you're like me, you've learned how to also keep your mouth shut when you're going to get in trouble. I haven't learned that really well, but I've learned it a little bit. There is, it's hard. I just want to acknowledge in the beginning, it's very hard to risk losing your standing in a group, being disapproved of, losing friends, to take a stand, to speak your truth. And I'm going to keep doing this because I'm not trusting that I'm going in the right direction. I'm not. See, I learned it wrong, Ceci. That's the thing. Bottom one. Okay. The conflict is real. There is intense conflict going on in our world right now. And I've said this for a long time, but those of us who embrace this teaching of science of mind really have the opportunity to be a bridge in really very, very disparate points of view. And some of it is personal and intimate. Some of it is taking place in our own homes and bedrooms and with our best friends and family. And a lot of it is social and political and in the larger, community. Literally, we have learned how to unfriend people, not just on Facebook, like in life. We've learned how to just walk away from that kind of conflict. Did it do it? Yes. I'm not going to look anymore. So, what happens when we encounter that kind of conflict? Here's some examples. Individualism versus collectivism, equality versus elitism, nationalism versus internationalism, freedom versus control, status quo versus change, minority versus majority rights. It kind of goes on. And the national conversation, and I'm not speaking to either side of this conversation. Whatever your views don't matter to me as much as the fact that we have isolated ourselves and pulled apart from anybody who disagrees with us. We make them wrong, we walk away, we find clumps of people, maybe even spiritual communities that believe like we do, and so we can surround ourselves with people like us and not have to deal with the them. And so the divide keeps getting wider and wider in our culture overall. Would you agree? Yes. It's going on at a remarkable rate, and it seems that that call to do something, for me anyway, keeps getting louder and louder. But for the longest time, I haven't had a clue what to do. What can I do in the life that I live that would change all of that? Well, you probably know this already, but don't ask those kind of questions if you don't want God to start answering them. It begins to show up for me, and I think for all of us. The task really is to speak up, to say something, even though, as Brene said, even if your voice shakes, to say something about what's going on. Whether it is confronting inequality, finding situations that you as a person with privilege, and I'm kind of looking around this room thinking there's a lot of privilege here. I am too. And often that I don't even recognize or appreciate, but that is, and I find somebody being treated in a diminishing capacity who really can't have a voice. Their voice would not be welcome. It's our job to speak up. It's our job to say something. It's our job also in personal situations to not shut down our own voice because we disagree. I was raised in a peacekeeping family. Conflict was avoided at all cost in my family, and it really, and more so for women than men. Just saying. But that was the dynamic of the family that I grew up in. Don't rock the boat. Don't say anything. And what I risk in doing something different is losing that family, losing that place in the world. And that's the wound that I think most of us carry in terms of what to do next, is like whatever that was for us, it was isolating and it was painful and it was wounding. The not belonging, the fear of not belonging is huge. And it's if you go back in your own mind, like just sort of travel back to being 12 or 13 and think about how huge that was in whatever your life circumstance was. In my family, we moved from Louisiana, where my dad was the pastor of the First Baptist Church in a little town, to Richland, Washington, when I was 13. It was just, I'm going into the 9th grade. And nobody even knew where the Baptist church was in Richland, Washington. Most people didn't go to church at all. And all of that, lifelong sense of belonging and standing in the world vanished for me like overnight. And as I was thinking about this talk, an experience I had when I first got there came to my mind. I was too embarrassed to say it for a while. I was like, well, that's kind of what we're talking about here, is speaking up. So I did this thing when I first got there, because I so wanted to have friends and I so wanted to belong. And even the dorky people who went to our church, I wanted to belong anywhere, And so the summer that we moved there, I made up this thing in my mind, and I started dyeing my shoelaces different colors so that my shoelaces would match my outfit. And I was, that was the age of super white kids' tennis shoes. And so I made up this story. I totally made this up. Made up this story that's what they did back where I came from. That's what all the cool people did. And I don't know, I had some idea in my mind that maybe all of the teens in Richland, Washington would start dyeing their shoes. I don't know what I thought, but it was like a way of saying, see, I belong somewhere. I did belong before I got here, and that's it didn't work. In case you're wondering about that, it's not a really good plan. The other inclination for me that summer of my life was to hide. I just went into myself. We lived about half a block from the Columbia River. And I remember this. I would walk over there by myself and sit on the levee, and there were these gigantic, rocks, lava rocks, going down the levee to the river. And I actually named all the rocks and made them my friends, because I didn't have any friends that summer. And I just would sit there and cry and miss my friends back home and wish I could belong. And then, oh my God, school started. I had to actually meet people and try to fit in. That didn't work out real well for me either. Because what I did then, and I have to admit I did well into adulthood and actually kind of recently, is kind of turn myself into a pretzel to fit. Silence my voice, because clearly I'm the oddball in this situation. I'm the one that's not fitting in. So I just kind of shut up and go, okay. I can fit here. We just moved 3 years ago. As Sarah said, we moved up to Ashland, which is the place that I always wanted to retire. And my husband finally consented, and so we moved there. I already had a launching pad there, so I had an excuse to go. That's kind of how that actually worked. But once again, we moved 5 times in the course of ministry into new communities. And so once again, I'm in a place where I have some friends, not many, and I want to belong. I want to belong. So I hide my voice. I shut my voice down in order to do that. Teens recognize instantly the difference between fitting in and belonging. I was quite confused about those things, because I was turning myself into a pretzel to fit in, thinking that then I would belong. And you don't fit in everywhere you belong. That's kind of what that story is. What is the difference? This is what teens say. And Brene Brown did actual research on this and interviewed many young people. And consistently, the message that they gave is belonging is different than fitting in. So if I get to be myself, I belong. If to be like you, I fit in. Yeah. Kids know that because they live it. Another thing that teens consistently said is, It's really painful and terrible to not fit in at school. It's way, way worse to not fit in at home. And increasingly, that there are teens, and I think probably some of us in this room as well, who in a very core level did not fit into our families, had parents that wished we were more sportsmanlike, more feminine, masculine, more smart, whatever, not the person that we were. And I don't know, the options seem to me like make myself that person that they want so I can belong here, or make myself so not that person that I go find a place to belong somewhere else. But in your core family, that's a really, really hard thing to do, isn't it? So we're carrying this wound. The work to move forward is to heal the wound. You know, that's really the task that's ours in order to be a bridge in the world. The task that's ours is to be able to navigate those waters, heal the wound, and speak up anyway. Speak up anyway. Say what needs to be said in a situation. It's not comfortable. It's not easy. It's painful. I'm aware that the kinds of things that we do collectively as we stay in jobs we hate, in marriages we should leave, in old friendships that have just been around so long we're afraid to walk away from them. We stay places where our soul knows better than to be, where it's not feeding us or supporting us, for fear of rattling that cage, for fear, that old ancient disapproval, not belonging, not fitting in feeling. You with me? Yeah, we will wrap ourselves inside out to do that. And yet there is another way. The way to it is through it. You know, it's being willing to speak up to the situation, even though everything in the little girl part of me is screaming, no, I don't want to do that. Do that. That's like certain death. Don't do it. And if I can love the inner me enough to do it anyway, if I can just say to the me inside of me, I'm going to hold you close, we're going to get through this, but this is the right thing to do. We need to do this anyway. We can begin to move forward. Oh, good, I'm still in the right place. It takes courage. It takes courage. There is also the task of finding my own voice. Speaking up, it requires me to separate from that group mentality that I have wrapped myself in so much. Sometimes I forget what my actual voice is, what it is my soul is actually saying to me. So some of it is also finding that voice, knowing what it is, and being willing to speak it. Now here's where the catch lies. The soft front. It's not just speaking our truth. Speaking our truth is the strong back. It is opening our hearts to do that in an undefended kind of way. So if we're going to reach across the bridge to somebody whose values and rhetoric and life is so different from ours, and not make them wrong, but find the common humanity, the God in them, we have to do it with our heart wide open. Even a heart half open, they'll feel the judgment. They'll feel I'm talking to you so I can change your mind. Whatever that thing is, that they will feel that, and there will be no bridge. The bridge is really in just tell me who you are. Tell me what you believe. Tell me why you believe it. I want to know. I want to know so I can love you. Because all of us are walking wounded. We've all got those core wounds, and we interpreted the story of what needed to happen because of that in different ways. So we came up with different conclusions. But when you can sit with somebody long enough and love them enough, you know what happens. You start to find behind the story of this person who voted for everybody you would never vote for, is a common humanity and a common desire for more good, more peace, more wholeness in their own lives and in the lives of the people they love. We are at core, as a human race, wired for that. That at essence is who we are. And the bridge is in the being willing to keep my heart wide open, to move forward, and to risk all of the rejection that comes with that. To risk all of the, like, I don't even want to talk to you because you're so wrong. That might be what comes back. That's why they call it risk. You know, things might go badly wrong. And what you get to do is keep your heart open anyway. You can't know what will happen. When you reach out to someone else's pain, to someone else's reality, as many times as you want to say, oh, I know how you feel, we don't know. We don't know. We cannot know. We cannot know what it means to not know where your next meal is coming from. I can suppose that, but I've never been there. I cannot know what it means to be black in this country right now. I can't know that. I can love somebody who's having that experience. I can ask to understand, but I cannot walk that path. It's not mine. And regardless of what the experience comes back at you as, that person that you're reaching out to, regardless of how bitter, how angry, how broken, how in need of love they are, when you open your heart to them, you get to take that in. You don't take it in and keep it. That's not the way it works. You keep it, you allow it to wash through you and let the love of God transform it through you. You don't have to like take on somebody else's pain and then live it. That's not our job. And it doesn't help them anyway, by the way. Our job is to allow ourselves to be vessels of light and to reach out and touch and hold that pain or joy or whatever that experience is. It's not everybody that's not like us is broken. But whatever it is, to reach out and allow it to move through us and allow the God in us to circulate that love and just touch somebody, just reaching out and touching somebody. On my way here this morning, I had an amazing experience. My process when I speak in churches is that I usually get up really early and go to a local coffee shop and just kind of get centered on what it is I want to do and say and get all myself a little wired up and go do it. So I was leaving Starbucks just over here in whatever that shopping center is, the next exit, this morning. This big black minister with clerics on comes out the door right behind me with his like 2 carafes of Starbucks to take to his service. And he said, good morning. He said, what are you doing today? And I said, I'm a minister too. I'm giving a talk in a few minutes just like you. And he's like, really? And he's like, what church? And he's telling me what church, and clearly very deeply born again, church of my childhood kind of orientation. And it was a little moment as I'd just been sitting, steeping myself in what I want to say to you. And he says, what's your name? And I told him. And he wraps his arms around me and he says a prayer. And he just like sends the Lord Jesus right through me, like, do your work. And I just stopped and I said, what's your name? So I did a prayer for him, and we just kind of like, he did a fist bump and walked away. It was like, that happened. That happened right here in little old Marin. And it is for me that the opportunity that Spirit shows up with, like, here's the moment. Here's the opportunity. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to be that person? And there's one more piece to this, which is, not that one. Not that one, not that one. Where did I go? It's missing. There's one missing. All right, I'll tell you what it is. To extend to yourself the same level of compassion and open-heartedness that I'm inviting you to extend to people that you run into. Like, give yourself that same love and care and willingness to hear your soul, to listen as deeply as you would listen to another person. Listen that deeply to your own soul. And that little child in you that is so terrified, that is so scared of not fitting in, of not belonging, of being rejected, hold that little child really close and just let them know that you are there for them. We're going to get through this together. I'm not going to not do it because you're scared, but I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to keep holding you close. I'm going to keep moving forward because it's worth it. It's worth it. Try this one more time. There. Oh, I was already there. Dang. This is the Dalai Lama, who says, my religion is kindness. It's very simple. Not easy. Simple, not easy. But the rewards are huge because it's like you're stepping over a portal. You're walking down a path and you're making a conscious choice to do life differently than all of the way your wounds of your childhood have led you to walk through life, to stop being defended, become undefended, and move forward. And I want to tell you, the first few steps are the hardest. Beginning that path is the hardest part because before you begin, it looks impossible. You know, like if you're walking down a path and all you can see in front of you is like tangled overgrowth. But you take a couple of steps and you realize, oh, the path bends there, and it actually keeps going. And you continue to walk down that path, and I assure you, you will come into a meadow where there are other souls like you who have braved the wilderness, who are out there living with a big wild heart, joyously dancing. It's like, oh, I did do this for a reason. This is what I came for. Yeah. Let's pray. Recognizing the infinite Spirit of God is right here, right now present. All that God is, I am. All that God is present in each person in this community. All the love, all the grace, all the freedom, all the wholeness that God is right here present as us. We are literally the hands and feet of Spirit in form. God itself extending itself in time and space as us, nothing less. And so I drop the armor. I open my heart, and I claim the courage to speak my truth, to be that person. I claim this for me. I claim this for each person here, that we each step forward with a wide open heart, loving ourselves, loving the world around us, being the bridge that the world is calling for. May it be so. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Wish you strength to rise unafraid, like the morning sun, taking on the day. Because when you shine, you light up the place. So I wish you strength, and I wish you faith that you'll overcome whatever you face, until your journey's done. Stronger than words, as certain as grace. I wish you faith, and I wish you could see the you that I see there at the edge of possibility. I pray that you will find all that you need. And I wish you peace that comes from within, a gentle release of all that might have been, like the stillness that waits between waking and sleep. I wish you peace. Bodie. And I wish that you could see the you that I see, and there at the edge of possibility, I pray that you will find all that you need. And I wish you strength to rise unafraid, like the morning sun, taking on the day. Because when you shine, you light up the place. So I wish you strength, and I wish you faith. I wish you peace. I wish you strength. Oh, I wish you strength. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Bodie.
I wish you strength and untanglement. Thank you so much. When I heard you even in rehearsal this morning, it's just like, oh, my heart was cracking open just hearing that. So thank you, both of you. So my name is Gail Durkin. I'm a practitioner in this community, and I love driving across the bridge coming here on Sunday morning with my cohort, Katherine. So if you would, ushers would come forward. And if you have pledge cards or gifts in your heart that you want to put in the offering, I was thinking about what I was going to say this morning, and I'm thinking about the abundance of my lemon tree and how I can pick lemons, and then I come back a couple weeks later and there's more lemons and there's more lemons. So just like the universe is abundant through plants, we're abundant through our gifts that we give that support our community. So if you would go collect the gifts. Wait. Thank you.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God is my source. God is my power. God give me everything I need, everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God give me everything I need, everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God give me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God give me everything I need. Let me hear. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need, everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Everything I need right here and now.
All right. So if you repeat with me, this gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. Thank you. Let's see if you can stay untangled.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to make this service possible. So I want to acknowledge all our villagers, all those community people who have made it possible for us to have this service today. So first of all, I want to thank Reverend Linda for her wonderful talk. Give her a nice round of applause. We have set up Jim and Ceci, sound Jim, video Tom, streaming Ron, PowerPoint Ceci, all of our wonderful practitioners, and our altar today, Mark and Gaelen Cooper. And it's about a strong back, that's the courage to speak out, and a soft front, which is an open heart and compassion. And Mark said he thinks this is probably the tallest and the heaviest altar we've ever had. That the altar probably has 150 pounds of rock and weights on it, and the tallest, so I think they get the award for that today. And we're so grateful for our music, Andoni and Bodhi, and we're grateful for people who bring healthy snacks, and our Sunday lead team. This is our partnership Sunday. Reverend Barbara was going to be with us today, but she had a car challenge. But the table is open. You can go back there and talk to them. I'd invite you to join me with my Extra Edge breakfast, my coffee and conversation, which I do once a month here in Marin, as well as in a couple of other locations around the Bay Area. And it's 8 to 9:30 in the morning. And it's been at Il Fornaio for many years, but they're no longer open in the morning. So we moved nearby to Cafe Verde. So you know where that is because it's next door. And so the focus of this is bringing the conversation, spiritual conversation into your everyday life and also to your work. It's not focused specifically on work. And this topic this month is moving beyond the impossible. And I was inspired by a quote by Ernest Holmes: "The all-creative medium does not think one thing is easy and another thing is difficult. With God, all things are possible." So, heart to heart, Lori.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not getting up there. Hello. I am grateful to belong here. Thank you for being a part of this community. I just wanted to quickly remind everybody about this ministry that we call Heart to Heart. We are available and have been very, very busy the last couple of months. And I just wanted to remind everybody, if you have a health challenge, if you have an injury or an accident or need support in some way, that's what this team does. And I have just been, just taken down by how much support there really is. People step up before I even know that something's happening. People are already there. So this is a community where belonging has many gifts, and that's one of them. So I just invite you to consider that if you need or know anybody in our community or a friend of our community who needs some support. We provide rides. Support, on the phone if someone needs a conversation, a prayer, just to know that people are here for you. So thank you very much.
Taurus. Do we have any Tauruses in the house? Okay, if you are a Taurus and a member of the community, then you can get a special treat from the practitioners. They will give you a special birthday session. So go and get materials to sign up for that. Also, we have the upcoming Power of Spiritual Mind Treatment workshop by Leslie, and she's going to tell us about it.
Well, we're celebrating 100 years of science of mind and also 100 years of spiritual mind treatment. And there's so much to learn about this spiritual practice, which is our cachet, our specialty, the 5 steps that build upon each other for a crescendo of alignment and oneness. So I invite you all to attend the workshop to understand the law of mind and how it's operated and how it's essential for us to integrate with it. So I look forward to seeing you all there. And Reverend Carol asked what you wanted from her before she left, and so there's several workshops that have been added, and there's one on May 27th on spoon bending. So if you want to go experience that, then come to the education table and sign up.
Then we have the Bon Voyage party. Where is Pat?
Thank you. Deborah Welsh, our events producer, is not able to be here this morning, so I'm stepping in for her. And I'd like to bring you up to date with what's happening. And this is our big Bon Voyage soiree for Carol. And we want to give her a big, happy retirement send-off. The date is July 21st. The time is 6 to 9 o'clock. It's right here in the community center, and everyone is invited, and there is no charge for anyone. So everyone is invited. Now, we do have to fund this party, so I want to talk a little bit about that. And first off, I'd like to thank the people who have already given gifts, and also let you know how important it is to fund now. Your participation is required early because we need to budget. So what we have is we have over there on the education table, we have a box. And Gail, Durkin, and I will be over there to help you fill out the forms, whether it's cash, check, or credit card numbers. We'll take it all. Let's see. Now, it's good to remember that we are not charging for this party, and this party is a night out. It's food, it's entertainment, it's fun with your friends. So give generously, and let's give Carol a really great send-off. Thank you.
And included in that will be a gift for Carol. Yes. So, if you'll rise for the affirmation and the closing song. And I failed to mention the practitioners are always available for you if you need prayer, and there are wonderful practitioners on the table today. So, I choose to courageously speak my truth. I no longer hide behind my need to be liked. I choose to confront bigotry, racism, or meanness, and speak up. I speak from a place of love and vulnerability, opening my heart, listening deeply, and honoring the divinity of all people, even those who disagree with me.
I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside. In every breath, peace above. And I know the joy of peace. And I choose fear to release every moment. Love wakes up, and peace is every step. And peace is every step. And peace is every step.